Hello, Virgo. It's your turn for your February reading. I hope you all are doing well. It's really weird because when I was thinking of Virgo's reading, the word power of love came up for me for some reason. And then I looked up if there's a song about that because I was thinking about another song, and it's of Celine Dion. I think it's Celine Dion. It's really weird because she's an Aries, and I recently heard that one of the what is it called? One of the YouTuber and singer that I've watched sometimes is a Virgo, and his ex-girlfriend is an Aries. So maybe you're dealing with an Aries or an ex that was an Aries. I don't know. I do feel like a lot of you are really hurting at the moment because you recently broke up with someone. Um, I know some Virgo moons have recently broke up with someone, so I don't know. That's kind of the energy I was picking up for you guys. But these are the cards, so this reading, it's general reading, may not apply to all of you, but maybe some of you. Have the Lover's card, so you could be dealing with a Gemini. Have Eight of Swords, Ten of Swords, and Three of Swords. And then we have Two of Swords, Nine of Swords, Five of Wands, Seven of Swords, and the Chariot, Wheel of Fortune, and the Magician, and the Empress. So, like I said, you could be dealing with a Gemini, you could be dealing with a Cancer, a Taurus, another Virgo, maybe an Aries. I do feel like with the Lovers right by Eight of Swords, Ten of Swords, and Threes. So I feel like a lot of you are really hurting when it comes to your relationships. Maybe it's someone that is not in your life. Maybe it's someone that's a soulmate of some kind. It could be a friendship too. That there's these swords between you and this person, I'm feeling, Virgo. Where maybe you're trapped with your heart and your mind about these people or situations. I know I recently had a Virgo friend who I knew her for a little bit, and then for some reason, I don't know if she's on Facebook or she blocked me. But I don't know what's going on. But I feel like a lot of you going through like painful experience when it comes to maybe past friendships, relationships. Like I said, some of you maybe broke up with someone. Um, but I feel like there's a lot of pain when it comes to trying to get yourself together, trying to maybe renew your faith in yourself. Um, I do feel like a lot of you feel like there's no hope for a situation when it comes to love relationships, whether it's in a relationship or friendships, that you're kind of isolated or you feel isolated from the world and you're just trying to recover from the loss of a relationship of some kind. And then the Two of Swords, I feel um, like you're still in your head about a situation. It could be past related. There's a lot of conflicts when it comes to maybe your thoughts and perception about something that you had to make a decision on. Maybe in some way, the song is coming up in my mind. Maybe it's like you went through this process of painful experience where you lost friends, or maybe you lost a relationship. And I do feel like there's painful thoughts that keep coming up, maybe toxic thoughts, like there's too many conflicts with this person that you may have been dealing with for some time. And I do feel like you're trying to move forward in a new direction, and you're trying to close out this painful experience and trying to manifest something better. Maybe with a Taurus, maybe with something that has to do with, you for once. Maybe you've built so much walls of resentment towards people and you're trying to clear these energies. But I feel like the most important thing that I feel like is needed in a situation with conflicts after conflicts and problems within yourself, and especially your mental space, I feel like you're giving to yourself again. and you're trying to learn from these past conflicts with people and situations, and you're relearning how to love yourself again and being okay with yourself, whether you're single or not. I do feel like if you're in a relationship, there could be past situations with these past people, whether it's friendships or relationships, where maybe you didn't get the resolution that you needed in the situation or clarity of some kind. And I feel like you're done fighting. You're done with maybe the mental exhaustion, and you're trying to recover from it still. And maybe you're trying to, like, maybe sweep it under the carpet like it never happened. But I feel like here with the cards, with the Two of Swords and the Nine of Swords, you're still conflicted about it. And it's still a painful experience through it all. I do feel like whatever person's hurt you in the past, being either it's a Gemini, a Cancer, Taurus, I still feel like there's a lot of love here for them. Not necessarily they're a soulmate or lover, but I feel like it's the vibe of you have a lot of care and a love for this person, regardless of what relationship or friendship it is. But I feel like you're trying to, you know, not so much focus on it, but I do feel like there's a lot of pain, maybe between you and this other person, that still hasn't really resolved the issue. But I feel like you're just done with it. You're done being hurt. You're done with the lies, manipulation of some kind. But I feel like you're trying to move forward in a better, solid, mutual direction, whether it's in a relationship or not. Like, you want mutual response, I feel like. Let's see if we can get cards, what's going on in your love and relationship, or just things that need to come up. I'll shuffle it 3 times, 4 times. But I do feel like, Virgo, you put a lot of time and effort into things. Maybe you thought in some way it would benefit you or another person. Maybe you were hoping for long term. I know recently when I watched a video of this one Virgo who does ASMR, he was saying that, he's kind of given up the idea of love, or he's kind of given up the idea of, how relationships have been for the past decade of people, where, they give so much through the relationship that they lose themselves in the process. And I think you're done with that, maybe, or you're still hanging on to something that's past related, I feel like. Alright, get some more cards. For some of you, there could be past hurt when it comes to a child situation, like you lost a child, I'm getting. Maybe there was a miscarriage of some kind. But I feel like that's still part of the wound. Maybe that's why it's really hard to stay connected to a person, I'm feeling, because of this painful experience that you had. Like, maybe both you and your partner of some kind still is affected by it of some kind. But, like, back to the whole long-term thing, I feel like some Virgos, they wanted and were hoping that the relationship that they got in was long-term. And I feel like maybe you had a second relationship with a new person and it didn't pan out, or it's just in the break of falling apart. And I think you're coming to the understanding that just because you get in a different relationship, if you don't heal from the previous one, it's going to cause a lot of pain and a lot of things that you're going to both have to go through. But I just feel like, it's a learning experience. So you have the Ace of Wands in reverse. You have the King or a Knight of Wands in reverse, and 6 of Cups and 9 of Swords. So I feel like you're done with the new beginnings if you are a single Virgo. I do feel like if you're in a relationship, maybe you feel distant towards family members or friends or people that are really close to you. And you're kind of closing yourself off from the world right now, like I said. I do feel like there's a lot of conflicts, inner conflicts with people in situations, like giving yourself 100% to people or situations because you're done with the toxicity, you're done with the disappointments. So I feel like there's no new beginnings with certain people or certain situations. Like a lot of these old people are pretty much your past people. Um, I do feel like with the Eight of Cups here, it's moving away from this kind of Queen of Cups energy or emotions, not putting a lot of time and effort in people anymore, especially when it comes to, you invest a lot of things in new beginnings, and it's like you're tired of not getting the same back to you. And I feel like that's what a lot of you Virgos have been dealing with relationships, regardless of uh, close relationship, friend relationships, or people that you're not getting the same back. And I feel like that's why it's making you feel isolated, or you isolate yourself because you're tired of the disappointments. So it's just a matter of time working through these hurdles that I feel like you guys need to work through, of really establishing goals, dreams, ambitions, and work on what you really love working on instead of focusing on what you're not getting in return in relationships. So I hope that resonates with one of you out there. Bye bye.